Hello, my Storytime Stars. How are you all today? Are you having a good time? Thank you so much for coming back to Audiobooks TV for your audiobook story. Today, we're going to have a nursery rhymes audiobook story because we haven't done that for a long time. So some of you will remember some of the songs because we've said them and sung them before, but some of you won't. For the ones that you do know, remember to sing out loud or say out loud alongside with me. Now some of you Storytime Stars say, well, that's for babies. Nursery rhymes are fun. Do join in and I'll make sure to bring a story that's right for you in the coming weeks. So make sure you are subscribed and you hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload a new video that might be for you. So you know the drill by now, boys and girls. Sit still, listen quietly. The Real Mother Goose nursery rhymes coming up next. Nursery rhymes coming up next. Welcome back, my Storytime Stars. Now let's get started. The clock. There's a neat little clock. In the schoolroom it stands, and it points to the time with its two little hands. And may we, like the clock, keep a face clean and bright, with hands ever ready to do what is right. Do you have a clock in your home, Storytime Stars? Or maybe in your class at school? Have a look at it next time you see it and see if it's the same. The Old Woman Under a Hill. There was an old woman lived under a hill, and if she's not gone, she lives there still. I wonder if she lives there even right now. Would we be able to go and see her, you think? Dear, dear, what can the matter be? Two old women got up in an apple tree. One came down and the other stayed till Saturday. What kind of old women are these that climb up into apple trees? Have you seen any old women in an apple tree, boys and girls? Do let me know. I think you might know this one. We've sung it a few times together. About pat a cake, pat a cake. Let's sing it together, shall we? Pat a cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Pat it and prick it and mark it with B. Put it in the oven for baby and me. Maybe if you have a baby brother or a baby sister or an older brother or an older sister or older brothers and sisters or younger brothers and sisters or even by yourself, when Mummy bakes, she bakes for all of you. Or when Daddy bakes, he bakes for all of you. Now isn't that lovely? I love the smell of baking. Don't you? What's your favourite pastry or cake? The next rhyme you should also know. Now, boys and girls, Narrator Riah did tell you to sit still and listen quietly. But I want you to feel free to stand up for this one and see if you can do just as Jumping Jack does. Jack, who's very nimble and very quick, and he jumps over a candlestick. Now, don't get a candlestick, boys and girls. Put an imaginary candlestick in front of you when you stand up and try and jump over just as Jack jumps over. So here it is. Here is the rhyme. Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick. Jack, jump over the candlestick. Did you jump? I'm going to actually change the rhyme now and call it Storytime Stars. So are you ready, my Storytime Stars? Stars, be nimble. Stars, be quick. Stars, jump over the candlestick. How high did you jump? Did you jump very high? I wonder. Let's do it one more time. And this time, make sure to jump as high as you can. Okay? Are you ready? Let's go. Stars, be nimble. Stars, be quick. Ready? Stars, jump over the candlestick. Oh, well done, my Storytime Stars. That's very, very good. So, if you don't know, the month of the year that we're in is June. And in June, it's summertime in some countries and it's winter times at other countries. But in all countries, the month of June has 30 days. Some other months of the year have 31 days. One has 28 days for most years, but on one year every 4 years, it has 29. And a way to remember this is by repeating this little ditty. And it goes like this. It's called 30 Days Hath September. Okay? And it goes like this. 30 days hath September. April, June, and November. February has 28 alone. All the rest have 31. Excepting leap year, that's the time when February days have 29. Shall we do that one more time? So, 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. February has 28 alone. All the rest have 31. Excepting leap year, that's the time when February days have 29. I hope that helps you to remember how many days there are in each month as it goes by. I love this one. My mother used to say this to me because I used to say to her, and maybe you say, oh, I wish I had, or I wish I could do. And my mother used to say, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So here is the actual nursery rhyme that comes from that. And it's called If Wishes Were Horses. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. If turnips were watches, I'd wear one by my side. And if ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkers. And tinkers were people who made pots and pans. And here's someone else who sells things, who sells old chairs. Old chairs to mend is the name of this nursery rhyme. It's not one I've heard before, but I liked it, so I thought I'd share it with you, my Storytime Stars. And it goes like this. If I'd as much money as I could spend, I never would cry, old chairs to mend, old chairs to mend, old chairs to mend. I never would cry, old chairs to mend. If I'd as much money as I could tell, I never would cry, old clothes to sell, old clothes to sell, old clothes to sell. I never would cry, old clothes to sell. I guess we all wish we had lots of money, but real life means sometimes we do have to sell so that we can have enough money to live. Now this next one, I think you all know, we've said it a few times, but if you don't, it's okay. Try and say as much of it alongside with me as you can. And it's about going to the market with a fat pig. To market, to buy a fat pig. Home again, jiggity jig. To market, to buy a fat hog. Home again, joggity jog. To market, to buy a plum bun. Home again, market is done. The Clever Hen. I had a little hen, the prettiest ever seen. She washed me the dishes and kept the house clean. She went to the mill to fetch me some flour. She brought it home in less than an hour. She baked me my bread, she brewed me my ale. She sat by the fire and told many a fine tale. What a clever hen, and what a good friend the hen is. Have you ever lost something, boys and girls? Does it make you feel a little sad when you can't find it? And what about when you do find the thing that you've lost? Doesn't it make you all happy again? Let's see if Lucy Locket finds what she's lost and if she's happy afterwards. Lucy Locket lost her pocket, but Kitty Fisher found it. Nothing in it, but the binding round it. Oh dear, so I guess they found some part of it, but not all of it. And that's why little Lucy Locket is looking so sad. Oh, this is a fun one about a flying pig. And here it goes. Dickory, dickory, dare, the pig flew up in the air. The man in brown soon brought him down. Dickory, dickory, dare. Now, my days, how does a pig get up in the air? I wonder. Well, the next nursery rhyme, I hope you'll all sing with me, because you should know it by now. And it's about a little baby going to sleep in the cradle. Hush-a-bye. And I'm sure you all know this one. And if you don't, just try to sing along the parts that you do know, if you do, or listen quietly. Hush-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. Now, my Storytime Stars, I don't want you to worry. Baby was safe. The cradle didn't break. It did fall, but baby was safe inside. The poor tree did break its bough, though, and so that's why baby couldn't swing in the tree anymore. But I'll sing it one more time. Hush-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. What did you have for breakfast this morning, my Storytime Stars? I know it's a strange question to get from Narrator Riah, but I wondered if you might have had cereal. Where do you have your cereal? Is it usually a bowl? I'm sure you don't have your cereal in a mug, do you? Maybe you do. Well, I'm sure you don't think of getting into your bowl and going to sea in it, do you? Well, these 3 supposedly wise men of Gotham did. 3 wise men of Gotham went to sea in a bowl. If the bowl had been stronger, my song would have been longer. Thing is, I don't know how 3 men fit into a bowl, because I'm pretty sure even a Storytime Star as little as you or as big as you would fit into your cereal bowl, would you? Well, listen to this, my Storytime Stars. This little lady has come upon a cat on her way to somewhere, and she asks the cat, "Pussycat, pussycat, where have you been?" "I've been to London to see the Queen." "Pussycat, pussycat, what did you there?" "I frightened a little mouse under the chair." Dear me, was that necessary? I'm pretty sure there aren't many mice in the palace, but perhaps there are. Must have been a nice visit. This is another favourite that you should all know. and it's all about riding on a cock horse to Banbury Cross. I've actually been to Banbury, my Storytime Stars. It's a pretty little town in England. If you ever visit England, I hope you get a chance to visit it too. Or you could see some of it on YouTube. Now, ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross to see an old lady upon a white horse. Rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. She shall have music wherever she goes. How lovely. I'm sure you can hear her coming from a mile. Do a story time session where we sing our ABCs. But for now, this little rhyme goes: Great A, little a, bouncing B. The cat's in the cupboard and can't see me. Oh, that's interesting. Are they playing hide and seek, do you think? I wonder. Georgie, Porgy, have you heard this rhyme? Do you like this rhyme? If you know it, please say it along with Narrator Riah. I'll try and slow down so we can say it together. Georgie, Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie, Porgy ran away. I think we'll try that again, but this time I'm not going to say the end of the rhyme. You have to say it if you know it, and say it nice and loud. And I'm going to start now, so are you ready? Georgie, Porgy, pudding and... Good! Kissed the gills and made them... When the boys came out to... Georgie, Porgy ran a... Very good, my Storytime Stars. I can almost hear you all say that rhyme with me through the internet waves. Let's say it one more time all together. I'll say the end of the words as well with you. Georgie, Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, Georgie, Porgy ran away. Oh, poor Georgie, Porgy. He should have stayed to play with the boys and girls together very happily. I'm sure the girls would stop crying then. Have you been to the playground, boys and girls? Have you played on the seesaw? Do you sing along this little ditty when you do? Seesaw, Marjorie do, Johnny shall have a new master. He shall have but a penny a day, because he can't work any faster. One more time. Seesaw, Marjorie do, Johnny shall have a new master. He shall have but a penny a day, because he can't work any faster. It's not yet quite bedtime, probably, if you're watching Storytime Stars Audiobook TV, but I'm sure it's close. And I'm sure you'll be fast asleep in your beds before Wee Willie Winkie comes through the town. Because Wee Willie Winkie runs through the town, upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown, rapping at the windows, crying through the lock. Are the children in their beds? Now it's 8 o'clock. What time's your bedtime? Are you good boys and girls who go to bed on time when mummies and daddies ask? I like to think my Storytime Stars are good boys and girls, and that you do listen to your mothers and fathers and guardians. And I'm sure you are boys and girls who love a little giggle. And I'm sure somebody's played this little game with you when you were babies. about little piggies going to market and using your toes as your little piggies or your fingers as your little piggies. And because there are 5 fingers, why don't you hold up your 5 fingers? We'll pretend your 5 fingers are your little piggies today, and we'll say this rhyme together. Remember to move from finger to finger as we talk about each little piggy. And when you get to the last finger, you've got to tickle yourselves. Can you do that? This little piggy went to market. Next finger. This little piggy stayed at home. Next finger. This little piggy had roast beef. Next finger. And this little piggy had none. The last finger. This little piggy cried wee all the way home. Tickle yourselves all over and give yourselves a giggle. Now, this farmer's wife is having a bit of a day. She's found mice in her kitchen and she is terrified. But these mice, they are blind and that's why they're running all over the kitchen. Let's hear how it goes. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice, see how they run, see how they run. They all ran after the farmer's wife, who tried to cut off their tails with a carving knife. Did ever you see such a thing in your life as 3 blind mice? 3 blind mice. Have you heard about John, my Storytime Stars? Dear me. When he's going to bed, he just plops onto his bed with half his clothes on and the other half not. Dear me. Let's sing this one together if you know it. Diddle-diddle-dumpling, my son John went to bed with his trousers on. One sock off and the other sock on. Diddle-diddle-dumpling, my son John. What a son, John. I love this one. It's about a black hen who lays lots of eggs. And the gentlemen come every day to say, "Hickety-pickety, my black hen. She lays eggs for gentlemen, sometimes 9 and sometimes 10. Hickety-pickety, my black hen." Do you know that one? Do you want to say it along with me if you do? Hickety-pickety, my black hen. She lays eggs for gentlemen, sometimes 9 and sometimes 10. Hickety-pickety, my black hen. How's the weather where you are today, boys and girls? It's a little bit cloudy where Narrator Riah is. Sometimes the sun comes out, but a lot of days there is a lot of rain. Now that's not fun, is it? And sometimes when it's raining, we can't go outside to play. Now imagine that was the case for little John. So this rhyme goes, "Rain, rain, go away, come again another day, because little Johnny wants to play." And for Dr. Foster, it was even worse, because Dr. Foster went to Gloucester in a shower of rain. He stepped in a puddle right up to his middle, so he never went there again. Dear me. My Storytime Stars, boys and girls, I know you know this next rhyme about Humpty Dumpty, and I'm expecting you to sing it with me nice and loud. Are you ready? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Shall we sing it one more time? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Oh dear, poor Humpty. The next rhyme, I'm hoping some of you know, because we have sung it a few times, as I've said. But if you don't know, just sit still and listen quietly and try and sing it if you do know. Goosey, goosey, gander, where shall I wander? Upstairs and downstairs in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man who wouldn't say his prayers. I took him by the left leg and threw him down the stairs. When he fell back, the stars gave a crack, and all the little ducks cried quack, quack, quack. There's different little versions of that, but I hope you enjoyed it. Now there were two married people, Jack Sprat and his wife, and they had very different foods that they liked. Jack Sprat didn't like fatty food, but his wife did like fatty food, and so Jack Sprat could eat no fat, his wife could eat no lean, and so between the two of them they actually licked the platter clean. Because that's what lean means. It means without fat. Which do you like? Do you like a little bit of both? A little bit of fat and a little bit of lean? I wonder. The next rhyme is about the girl in the lane. The girl in the lane that couldn't speak plain cried gobble, gobble, gobble. The man on the hill that couldn't stand still went hobble, hobble, hobble. Are you one of those children that when they go to mummy or daddy or their guardian, instead of speaking properly, does mummy and daddy and guardian have to say, speak properly, because you go like gobble, 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 like this little girl? And are you the sort of person who can't stand still and you walk about like hobble, 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 and mummy or daddy or guardian has to say to you, walk properly? Well, the girl in the lane that couldn't speak plain cried gobble, gobble, gobble. The man on the hill that couldn't stand still went hobble, hobble, hobble. I hope, my Storytime stars, that you can both speak plain and stand still. I know you sit still and are good when you listen to Audiobook TV stories. Thank you, my Storytime stars. I think you know this one too. Jack and Jill, when they went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Because in the old days, boys and girls, and I think you know all these rhymes come from the very old days, before we were born, before our mummies were born, and sometimes even before our grandmas and grandpas were born. These children had to go and fetch water. It didn't come out of the taps. And so these two children on this day, Jack and Jill, they went up the hill to fetch the pail of water. So sing along with me if you know it, nice and loud now. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed to mend his head with vinegar and brown paper. And the last one is the nursery rhyme I'm pretty sure you all know. And for this last nursery rhyme, sing nice and loud, won't you, my Storytime stars? Sing with Narrator Riah, won't you? It's Baa Black Sheep. I know all of you know it. Sing nice and loud with me now. Are you ready? Baa Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. One for the master, one for the dame, one for the little boy who lives down the lane. Again. Baa Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. One for the master, one for the dame, one for the little boy who lives down the lane. Well done, my Storytime Stars. Well done for singing along and saying these lovely old nursery rhymes from the Real Mother Goose story audiobook. You've been so good. Thank you so much for listening quietly. I'm looking for new stories to bring to the channel, so make sure to hit the notification bell and also to give this audiobook story video a great big thumbs up like. Do remember to do that, boys and girls, if you enjoyed yourself. I really enjoyed singing with you. It's Narrator Riah here from Audiobooks TV. Until the next time.